Hello YouTube, let's play some chess. Playing with the white pieces, so of course gonna go for d4. Trying to go for the Jobava London. And if they go for this stuff, I have a really nice trap here. With e5. He looks to be prepared. Well, actually he isn't, because taking here was already not the best move. And my trap is still in the cards, by the way. Actually, he's kind of already fallen for it. But he can get a somewhat decent position still. But this is dangerous. If he takes my bishop now, that's going to be checkmate. Okay, this is the quickest game I've played in a while. But let's go to the game review and show you how this trap works in its full. Nice to play this trap against a 2000 opponent, so you can see how powerful this trap really is. So let's go to the game review and explain how it works. Oh, this is really quick. I don't even know how long I've been going, but yeah, not long. So it's gonna call it inaccurate. Let's go to the fun stuff. So yeah, this is some basic stuff, and you can transpose into a Jobava London. But usually g6 is an indicator that they want to fianchetto and castle. And if your bishop lands here, they're often gonna play, especially with e4, by the way, gonna play d6 basically to stop e5. So when you play e5 anyway, which is a mistake, but it's also a trap, and it's not a big mistake, like it's minus 0.5, so you can still play a good game from here. But the reason it's a mistake is not easy to find, because think of it from black's perspective. Like, let's turn around the board, right? If black plays d6 here in order to stop e5, it makes sense that if you play e5, that taking is the way to go. And like the engine shows, that's a miss. So if you play d6 to stop e5, why isn't d takes e5 the best move? And that's the thing. I'm going to go back to the white pieces. The idea here, why d6 is best, is because you can go here, attacking the bishop. I need to move my bishop back to e2. And then, because you've played d6, you can win this pawn. And that's the idea, that why d6 actually stops e5. But if you just know d6 stops e5 and nothing more, you think you're going to have to take. And that's actually a mistake already. And even in this position, because this is the best black can do, you see it's minus 0.4 now. I develop my queen. I have some nice open lines. What happens usually is they go back. You castle queenside. Now you have some lines against the queen here. And most often, and this can be considered another trap, they're going to castle. And you can see here already, engine is suggesting it. This is already better for white. You go here, you pick up this pawn, because remember, you're also attacking the queen, so he needs to kind of move it. Like, if you go here, that's just a fork. And if the queen moves here, you can just take the rook, because if he takes here, we can just take back, so that's no problem. But even if he moves his queen, we can still go here and win the rook. Now the engine is suggesting that knight e5 is even better, because yeah, the rook is just, you can't move the rook, so that idea is still there, and that attack is becoming quite dangerous as well. But if you want to play it easy, if they move the queen, you can just go here and take the rook afterwards and have a nice game from there. So here they don't need to castle, and they can either block or play c6, but c6 is a move I don't think I've ever seen. Blocking is alright as well, and here black is slightly better. Oh no, here black isn't even better. They need to block with the bishop. And then it's just equal. So again, who's gonna find c6 here, right? But I have so many games, like, these open files are really good. If he ends up castling here, right now or later, you have some nice play with your pawns here. With your rook joining the attack. The other bishop has some open lines as well, because there's no pawns here. And it's just really easy. And yeah, you're just down one pawn, but you have so much compensation that this is just nice to play. So that's if they go for the best move here. But what usually happens is they take here for the reasons I've explained. And you take back, like I did in the game. And again, now they have a choice. Again, I believe the best move is actually, yeah, the engine agrees, knight h5. But that looks really awkward, because I can take the queen, which is with check, so they don't have time to take my bishop. After they go here, I can castle with check. So they still can't take the bishop. This isn't even the best move, but this is just why they are not playing this usually. Because here, let's see actually what the engine has to say about this. Yeah, best move is here just bishop d2. And he can't castle anyway because he has moved his king already. But let's say you castle here with check. If he moves his king here, we already have the same trap. Like, imagine you go here, he takes the bishop, and we saw the checkmate in the game. This looks very similar, so still the same trap exists there. So yeah, they usually, if they go to this point, almost always, I don't know if I've ever seen knight h4, but almost always they're gonna take your queen. Like in a game, you take with the rook, and now they're gonna go there. They can also go to g4, thinking, okay, I'm gonna try and win this pawn back. This is inferior because after you move the knight, with the same idea, so they don't have time to take that pawn. They don't even have a threat on your bishop later in the game, because, again, if here and here, we saw that taking here leads to checkmate, right? So the best for them is actually to castle, give up this pawn with check. Now, important in this variation, we can't take here, because now they take our bishop, and that's why knight h5 is better. Yeah, sure, we can take the rook, but this knight is kind of getting trapped, and he has now got 2 pieces for that rook. So that's not what we want to do, but we can take a pawn with check here. They move over, and now we just move the bishop. And engine says c1 is best. That's what I usually play. And this looks scary, but actually isn't. There's some fun variations still, like, let's imagine you just go here or something. They can't really take your knight because, and again, this would be kind of trappy. Because you have this check, only move is to block with the bishop. And you can take here, they need to go here, you can take here, you've won a piece. So that's still a threat, so well, this is considered brilliant even in this position. But it's not the best. Yeah, f4 is best even here. But yeah, there's many moves. But that's why this is good. Yeah, I can go on for quite a bit. Let's go back to the game. If they take here, because usually what they think, right, is, okay, same thing like I showed earlier. Let's say I go here, and I just take the rook. And this knight is probably getting trapped, so they've got those 2 pieces for the rook. That's probably what they're thinking when they're playing knight takes f4. What they're not realizing is after this check, I'm not going to take the rook because this is just a checkmate, like I showed in the game. And yeah, the bishop is kind of blocking the king's escape square. Nothing can block here, so it's just checkmate. And yeah, this game ended really quickly. Analysis was a bit longer, but I think it's good to explain this trap in depth, so you are prepared what to do also if they don't fall for it. So yeah, I hope this was instructive. Let me know what you think about it. Like and subscribe if you want more of this. Maybe become a member, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.